So guys, bit of an off-the-cuff video coming at you tonight. Ben Davies to Liverpool. Let's talk about it. So it's not all too often that this sort of transfer pops up, especially when it does come to Preston North End, the club I support, and the Championship in general. When the story broke a few hours ago, it surprised me a little bit, and since then things have absolutely snowballed up until the point where I'm now recording, where it's been reported that Preston have accepted a bid. So what I thought we'd do quickly in today's video is I'd share with you guys some of my thoughts on Ben Davies the player, what Liverpool can expect from him going forward, and how this is actually going to affect Preston for the rest of the season. Because there is quite a bit to unpack with this one, both from North End's point of view and Liverpool's point of view and the players' point of view with Ben Davies as well. Now, it was only a few days ago where it was looking like Ben Davies was pretty much on his way to Celtic, signing a pre-contract there. He'd stay with Preston for the rest of the season and then go up to Scotland for next season. But the move to Liverpool completely blows that out of the water, doesn't it? So when I'm recording this, James Pearce, who is the Liverpool reporter for The Athletic, has tweeted this. Liverpool have agreed a fee of £2 million with Preston for Ben Davies, and Van den Berg is going to be going the other way on loan, so we'll touch on that in the second half of the video as well. I'm quite interested in that move. So it was back in 2019 when I put out this tweet, sort of jokingly comparing Ben Davies to the likes of Virgil van Dijk, Sergio Ramos and De Ligt, who was asked to know that eventually he'd go on to play with Van Dijk at Liverpool. Now, what I do like about this transfer is, and I think this has been sort of a changing of the tide in recent years, the Premier League are starting to take Championship clubs and Championship talent a lot more seriously. I mean, we're seeing this season especially people who have previously played in the Championship absolutely ripping it up in the Premier League at the moment. You know, you don't have to look further than someone like Jack Grealish, who's been one of the real stand-up performers of the Premier League this year already. There's been people who have really benefited on loan spells recently, looking at the likes of the Mason Mounts, Tammy Abraham, Reece James, another one, and we're also seeing more Premier League clubs dipping into the Championship transfer market. You know, we saw Spurs going in for Swansea's Joe Rodon, West Ham going in for Ben Rama, Crystal Palace going in for Aberi Eze. The list is absolutely endless, so the fact that Liverpool are going in for a Championship defender with the current situation they're in at the moment, I think it makes sense really. Now, Ben Davies is a player for North End who I have been banging the drum of saying that he's Premier League standard for quite a few seasons now. He's had quite the interesting career at North End, came up through the academy as a fullback in his first few years for Preston, did play that position and looked a steady player but by no means anything special, had a couple of loan spells out and then came back to us as a left-sided centre-half, and since then has completely elevated his game to the next level. And I mean, left-footed English centre-halves especially are absolute gold dust at the moment, aren't they? I think when it comes to Ben Davies, his biggest strengths undoubtedly are his ball playing ability, so he is very much a ball playing left centre half. He's so calm on the ball, and in those pressured situations especially, which is one of the main reasons why I think he'll get on so well at Premier League level, is there's no panic whatsoever in Ben Davies, and that's something that's with Championship centre-halves half the time quite rare. I know the stereotypical image of them is, you know, just to hoof it long or something like that. With Ben Davies, that's not the case at all. He's got a fantastic range of passes on him, brilliant at switching the play. I think that with the way that Liverpool like to play, especially with the sort of dynamic runs that their wingers make, the amount of times that Ben Davies has had the ball on the left-hand side and switched the play in behind to Tom Barkhuizen, who's made that run in behind, honestly, I think that's one of the main reasons why someone like a Ben Davies has been targeted for a side like Liverpool, and obviously this will then free up someone like Jordan Henderson to go back into midfield and ultimately be a lot stronger than for the second half of the season. And it's not as if Liverpool's interest has come out of nowhere and there's been no other Premier League interest in years gone by as well. Quite a few Premier League clubs have had Ben Davies pop up on their radar in the past. We've had the likes of Wolves who have been linked, Everton, Brighton. Obviously he is now running into the final months of his contract, so it was always going to be hard for us to keep him from this point onwards. But it's a sort of a weird feeling really, because on one point I'm absolutely devastated to be losing a player as good as Ben Davies, you know, right after we've lost Ben Pearson to Bournemouth as well. But the other side of me can't help but feel just absolutely buzzing for him. Like, this is an absolute dream move at the end of the day, isn't it? You know, you're going to the champions of England. And ultimately what could well happen is, I think he will do well at Liverpool. He'll fill in well for them for the rest of the season. He may stick around for, you know, a year or two there. And then he may get a move on elsewhere when everyone comes back and is fit and available. But when that does happen, he's going to get another move to a Premier League club because he is at that standard. So with the fee being agreed of around about £2 million, I'm hoping from a Preston's perspective that we do get a hefty sell-on clause in there. I think if we go back to talking about the sort of player that Ben Davies is as well, real good turn of pace about him. I think he served quite well in that aspect of previously being a fullback, his movement is actually really good. And probably the only thing that he's sort of lacking is that sort of physical presence, really. You know, he's not going to be someone who comes in that sort of like destroyer model who's going to absolutely come in and dominate things. He's a very technical centre-half, so partner him alongside the right person and you're on to a winner. And also, make no mistake about it as well, £2 million for this transfer is an absolute bargain. Had he had 2 or 3 years left still in his contract, he'd easily be in that £10 to £15 million price range. So yeah, Liverpool are getting an absolute bargain here, and I think that even if he was to leave after a couple of years, they'd easily have that high selling value. He's at a good age at the moment. Now, from Preston's point of view, we are in need of defensive reinforcements. You know, Ben Davies very much is the pendulum at the back for us who keeps things ticking over. You know, the thought of maybe Paul Huntington and John Story at the back for the rest of the season, we'd show our inexperience there, you know, maybe with Joe Rafferty at right back or something. It's not worth thinking about, but we are being proactive in this transfer window. I think that's one thing that we have to give the club plaudits for, albeit we are acting on maybe sort of like a short-term basis. You know, the majority of the deals we've done so far have been loan deals, and that's seemingly probably going to be the case for the rest of the window, potentially with Van der Berg coming on loan for the rest of the season. Cedric Kipre's the other name who's been heavily linked with us at this point in time. I'd quite like to see maybe both of them coming in. I think that Kipre especially, experience is something that we will be in need of. You know, for the past 4 seasons now, Ben Davies has been like the first name on the team sheet, so to lose a player like that from your back line, you need to replace with adequate quality. So I do welcome your guys' thoughts on this one in the comments down below. Do let me know how you think this one will turn out. I'm quite interested to know. Like I said, we'll be reading a lot of the comments. We've got a lot of action going on all around the Championship at the moment, so coming up tomorrow we'll have the Championship review, Championship roundup, and then throughout the week we'll be unpacking this transfer window, which has been absolutely bonkers. But apart from that, thanks for watching, guys. If you did go on to enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Please do subscribe as well for some regular content. We're pushing our way towards 30,000 subscribers now, so if you could help us out, that would be massively appreciated. But apart from that, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.